Hey, what's going on, ladies and gents? It's Richard Quo, and this week I want to talk about how do we love ourselves. I think oftentimes so many of us, and we don't realize that it's so many of us, like have a ton of insecurities within ourselves. That we're not good enough. No one likes us. We're not cool. We're fat. We're ugly. We're not smart. And what's funny is like we think we're like one of the few people in the world that feels this, but because we're so insecure, we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to be a loser, right? But what's funny is almost every single person in this world has the same thing going on in their minds. Like no one really wants to talk about it, and that's kind of the reason why I've kind of dedicated my life to doing this, because I want to create a platform so people realize everyone's kind of going through it. In some way, shape, or form. Even confident and popular kids are going through it. It's funny because when I was younger, I never realized this. I thought I was the only person. I was the only loser. And yeah, sure, I see some other losers in the school as well. But I'm like, yeah, those are losers. I don't want to be like them. I want to be like a cool kid, right? Um, so how do you love yourself? And I guess in a way, like, how do you be popular? Look, this is like a cheat video. Like, you got to learn how to be popular in this video. If you want to be like genuinely popular and love yourself, because they're both really important. You got to start with accepting who you are. You got to embrace all your flaws and understand that your flaws are okay. It's okay if you're a little bit stupid or you don't get it, or you're a little bit fat or chubby or way too skinny. Like, I'm not saying it's okay like health wise or whatever. I'm just saying in general, like in the context of accepting who you are. Because here's the thing. Look, if you want to be the best person that you can, like, you got to be your authentic self. And if you want to be your authentic self, you have to embrace everything about yourself. That starts with your crooked teeth, like everything. I don't care what it is. What happens when you embrace yourself? Like, you're cool. You're just cool with being yourself. Like, have you ever? I'm sure you've seen someone. So I want you to think about a person who is not necessarily like attractive to you, but for some reason they're like super bubbly and like they just have a great personality and they're like really happy, and you could tell that they're just comfortable with being who they are. Like, that person has learned to accept him or herself. Like, that's why it is. That's why they're able to do that. And for people like us, if you're probably watching this video, we're insecure. Like, we want to be that perfect person, that perfect cool kid. And the thing is, if you want to try to use that framework and keep following that, you're not going to get there. Because if you keep trying to chase something that you're not, you're going to not love yourself. You're going to start hating yourself for being fake. And we got to stop being fake because it's not working. So look, for me, look, all of us, every single person is always trying to find themselves. And for me, like, I used to want to be that super chill person that everyone got along with. I was funny and everything like that. And what's funny is that I never thought, this is just coming up in my mind right now. I never really thought I was a funny person. And then, like, I always try to make jokes that were like, funny, like kind of like a that's what she said joke or whatever it is, to kind of fit in and be noticed. But then I realized, like, once I really started being funny is when I stopped caring what other people thought about me and the jokes that I made. Like, I did jokes kind of for myself, and I realized I'm much more of a sarcastic person, and people are like, oh, that was pretty funny. I'm like, oh, really? Like, I didn't even notice I was being funny. And like, when we stop trying so hard, that's when we be funny. When we stop trying to be something else, that's when we start to be funny or ourselves. When we people want to get to know the real you. So I guess my advice is stop hiding behind a mask. Stop trying to be someone else. If you want to love yourself, be yourself. Embrace it. Second message is, in terms of loving yourself, is if there's something you generally don't like about yourself, and you've half of it is embracing it, or I would say most of it is embracing it, but if there's something you don't like about yourself, change it. Change it. Like, if you feel like, for example, you are, I don't know what's a good example. Let's say you're dumb. You think you're dumb, or your grades are bad, and that's what makes you feel insecure. And that's why you don't love yourself. I get it. You're working the hardest that you can to get your the best grades you can. And look, we all get bad grades sometimes. Well, that's not true, but a lot of us get bad grades, and we work so hard to get good grades. Then we feel like we're stupid. Um, here's I think my main message. Look, I'm improvising everything as I speak. So if you feel like you're stupid, here's what I want you to get. Every single person on this earth is smart. Maybe not academically, but everyone has their own gift of what they're good at. Some people are book smart. That's cool. That's them. I myself can't consider myself that. Like for me, I'm more, what is it? Emotionally, what is it? Emotionally in tuned with myself and other people, and I'm smart in that way. I'm smart, like street smart. Some people are smart in the arts, like they're very creative. We all have our own versions of being smart, and uh, truth is, we're not all book smart, and that's okay. Like, let's stop comparing ourselves just on these specific things, because society tells us this is the most important aspect of our lives. Academics, having the best grades in the class is going to define who we are as people. No, that's BS. Like we each define who we are. So love yourself, because you got to understand every single person on this earth is unique, and we all have our own paths. Like we got to stop doing this cookie cutter stuff, and we got to just start being ourselves. Like we got to start following our hearts and doing what we want to do. And it takes courage to do that, but we do it one step at a time. All right. So that's what I got for this week. And thanks for watching. And post a few videos a few days later. And also be sure to subscribe to my Facebook Live. I post daily live vlogs, kind of talking about the behind the scenes of each day. So thanks so much, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Woo! See ya.